Hey everybody, welcome to homerecordingmadeeasy.com, visionrecordingstudios.com, and here on my YouTube channel, and this is video number 5 of the audioschoolonline.com mixing contest. Go back and check the playlist on my YouTube channel called Mixing Contest, and you can watch the first 4 videos where I take you through the entire mix step by step and show you how I'm kind of mixing this song for this particular contest, and I'm going to be entering this contest, and we'll see what happens. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the second set. This is part 2 of our guitar videos. We're going to take a look at some filler guitars, as I call them, some delay guitars, some guitars playing eighth notes, some little lead lines, so on and so forth. So let's take a look at this guitar here, which is called delay guitar. Let's loop this section and let you listen to the finished product and show you the signal train. Okay, so kind of just a delay, kind of a semi-dirty with some delay on there, kind of like a YouTube vibe almost. We're going through our signal chain, which is the same signal chain for the rest of the mix thus far. We're going through the Slate Digital Virtual Tape Machine. First plugin in the chain. Second plugin will be the VCC by Slate Digital. And then the third plugin is going to be, once again, the Neve 88RS console channel strip. We're rolling off here at around 75 hertz or so, low cut, high cut at about 16K. Compression, we're going ahead and we are doing a pretty quick release here. We're doing a 3-to-1 ratio, slow attack, and we're dialing it in to taste the amount of compression. It's about 3 dB. And then on the top end of the EQ, around 6K, we're putting about 3 dB just to get it to cut through the mix. And here's what we have before the Neve. Okay, just bringing out a little bit of top end, about 3-4 dB of compression, no big shakes here, and we're just going to dial this into taste once we get towards the end of the mix here and get all the guitars nice and balanced. Now let's move over to this guitar called Guitar Eighth, which is just kind of a chugging kind of a guitar thing underneath the 2 rhythm guitars that we looked at in the last video, and that sounds something like this as a finished product. Okay, and now that guitar is sitting underneath these 2 other rhythm guitars, so in context it'll sound like this. Okay, so, and it's got to be balanced a little bit better than that, but you get the idea. So let's take a look at what we did here. So the first thing I did, even though it didn't, this guitar had a little bit of dirt on it, I went ahead and added another plugin, amp sim plugin. I'm using the Friedman BE100 amplifier, and we just picked a preset called Twang Crunchy Telly and just tweaked it from there, just to give it a little more bite, because before the Friedman, it kind of sounded like this. Yeah, it kind of sounds like, you know, like a DI, not really good. So with the Friedman, just to give it some dirt. Okay, and just to thicken it up a little bit, because again, it's going to sit underneath the other 2 guitars that we just spoke about. So from there, I'm going to the tape machine. Over to the virtual console. Over to the Neve 88RS once again, rolling off at around 80 hertz on the low cut side. about 3 or 4 dB of compression, again using a fast attack this time around to kind of push this back in the mix so it doesn't sit up front too close to the other 2 rhythm guitars that we spoke about. And then there's no EQ here. I just let the amp do the EQ duties. This is before the Neve. And after. So light compression just tightens it up a little bit. There may be some high-end EQ we'll add a little bit later as the mix comes together, but that's the idea. Again, it's not to be, we don't want this guitar to be too intrusive to the rest of the guitars that are going on. It's being panned up the center while the other two guitars are sitting left and right. Okay, so now let's move over to this guitar high line. Let's see what that is. It's in the same section of music. I'll just solo it up so you can hear it. Okay, same thing. Tape machine, virtual console, Neve 88RS. Here we're rolling off at around 80 hertz and below. Again, a fast attack to kind of sit this in the back from a compression point of view, about a 2-to-1 ratio, pretty medium style release. And on the EQ, there's no EQ here yet because it's already a little bitey and a little bright as it is. You can see I'm compressing kind of heavy here, 5 to 8 dB, because I wanted to get those peaks and kind of tame them. I didn't follow this up with any other compressor, letting the Neve do most of the compression here. So this is before the Neve, and I'll turn it on halfway through. Okay, fairly subtle, but there we go. Next guitar is called High Drone Guitar, which is really kind of over here. We could put this at the beginning of the song so you can kind of hear it. Kind of fades in here, so let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so we're using, again, the Neve, once again, 80 hertz roll off, pretty fast attack on this, about a 2-to-1 ratio, dialing it into taste from a compression point of view. I'm pulling a little out around 2K, just so it's not so ear piercing. No big deal here. And then you also keep in mind, there are other instruments that are going on during this part, organs and stuff, which we'll get to in a later video. So that's not isolated by itself. Okay, so it won't stick out as much and be so, obvious. Okay, and then we're going to go to the two high peak. We got another high peak guitar down here. Let's just solo this up and see what we have. Okay, so again, let's see, from a compression or from a filter, we have around about 80 hertz or so roll off there. Again, roll all the low end off. Another fast attack on the compressor, about a 2-to-1 ratio, medium release. And on the EQ, around 6K, a little bit of a bump here just to bring it out a little more brightness. About 5 dB of compression. As before. And that's all we did there. And then we have our mid-peak guitar, which is right underneath it here. We can listen to a section of this. See what we got. Okay, same thing on the Neve. 80 hertz low cut. Again, same attack and release and ratio settings. And again, doing about 5 dB of compression. On the EQ, actually, I actually took it out. It's actually flat, so there's no EQ there. It's before. After. Okay, so that is our last guitar here. So now if we were to kind of take a listen, and oh, by the way, all these guitar tracks are going to a guitar reverb, which is the Ocean Way by Universal Audio. I use this on drums as well, and I said in the drum video, if you don't have this plugin and you have a Universal Audio system, you ought to really consider it. It's a great plugin. Using it on the reverb setting just to give a little bit of space around these guitars and let all these guitars sit in the same space. So now if I go to a part of the song where all the guitars are kind of playing together, which I think is towards the end here. Yeah, here's the majority of them right here. So if we can take a listen to some of these, and we'll unmute all of the guitars and we'll just balance them all as best we can for now. Again, it'll be tweaked as the mix kind of comes together. Here is kind of what we got, and I'll take the reverb in and out once I get this thing balanced so you can hear the difference. Okay, so those are all our guitars playing together. And again, they all need to be balanced a little bit when the rest of the mix comes in. I'll have to do some automation on some of these things, but that's the basic gist of what we have going on here. And they're all going down to a guitar bus, just like in the last section of the videos. And I'm just using the virtual mix bus by Slate Digital. Okay, so there is our semi-finished guitar sound. Again, we're going to still be tweaking it as we go along, but that's the basic gist of what I was doing. So I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching this video. And for more tips, tricks, concepts, and training around everything home recording, be sure to always head out to homerecordingmadeeasy.com. And if you want some more information on my mixing and mastering services, you can always head out to visionrecordingstudios.com. So until the next video, when we start taking a look at the organs and the vocals and try to start getting down towards the end of the road on this particular mix. This has been Dave with homerecordingmadeeasy.com, and I will speak to you guys all soon. Take care.